CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. New information just into our newsroom. It's on a shooting at the Pembroke Pines game shop. Police tell us an employee saw a man shoplifting and confronted him. Then things turned deadly. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray has the latest.
The manager of this GameStop here at Hiatus and Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines is in jail accused of manslaughter. Now, here's what police tell me happened. It was last night that manager, identified as Derek Guerrero, was in the store. Police say a man came in and he attempted to shoplift. At some point, Guerrero is accused of shooting this suspected shoplifter. That suspected shoplifter went out of the store, got into a car where his girlfriend was waiting, police say. As she was leaving, she noticed he was unresponsive. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Now, Guerrero went before a judge today and was given a $25,000 bond. Should he make bond, he will have to wear a GPS monitoring device and have that at all court appearances. Now, Pembroke Pines police say this matter remains under investigation and they are not releasing the name of the man who died. In Pembroke Pines, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
It is a simply gorgeous day across South Florida, but a warming trend has kicked in. Let's get right to next weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler. Cindy, I love my job way too much to play hooky, but if I was that girl, today would have been the day.
Today would have been the pick of the day. Oh my goodness, yeah. Our temperature's actually gone up now to 84 degrees, which is slightly below average for this time of the year, but it's the dry air that we love so much that allows that temperature to really rise, so it warms up easily. So warmer temperatures, but still comfortable out there. Showers and storms are going to be possible on Friday, but it's a very low chance, only a 20% chance. And then another cold front comes in this weekend. We're going to be watching that. Will it get this far south? That's something that we're going to watch. Kind of uncertain at this point. So 84 in Miami, Homestead 81, 81 in the Fort Lauderdale area. Down in the Keys, temperatures sitting around 80 degrees, both Marathon and Key West. But look how low this relative humidity is. 46%. That's why you want to play hooky today, because the air is so dry. It's so unusual. That dry air is just sitting across South Florida right now. Very, very strong. It's made it all the way down to Cuba at this point. So we're loving this kind of weather, very fall-like at this point. Although the winds have now turned or veered just a little bit now to the northeast. So we're getting a sea breeze. That onshore flow has now moved in. That's why we've got more clouds today than we had yesterday. Even though the air is still quite dry in the mid-levels, we still have a few clouds that are not going to produce any rain out there. Nope, it is just still too dry. So your lows tomorrow morning. Now this morning it was down to 66 degrees in Miami. We're going to be a little bit warmer each day. Now we're looking for lows upper 60s to lower 70s. So yeah, we're getting back to what's more normal for this time of the year. Coral Gables 71, but Doral should be about 69 degrees. Key Biscayne in the mid 70s tomorrow morning. Homestead 69, Miami 71 degrees. The Keys will bottom out about 76, 74 degrees. So comfortable conditions. We get more of an onshore flow, but still dry conditions, and then a chance for those showers on Friday with an easterly wind that'll bring some moisture. Front comes in this weekend. If the front gets all the way through, well, dry and mild temperatures. If it gets stuck just a little bit to the north, we're going to stay in the heat. Overall, it looks like our temperatures will be really climbing back into the upper 80s. So, going to go out to the tropics. We have something that we're watching. Good chance that this is going to become Tammy later this afternoon. Tropical storm not having any kind of a chance to get to the United States. Conditions are just too not going to be conducive for that. So we're looking at pretty nice weather for us. Temperatures will be climbing. Humidity will start climbing as well, looking for highs in the mid to upper 80s.
It is day 12 of the Israel-Hamas war. Here in South Florida, many are deeply affected. We caught up with some people at Miami International Airport who are returning from Israel with stories of survival. They're grateful to be back home, but mourn for those who are caught in the turmoil. One woman told us her grown children decided to stay behind to help.
They are making meals for the soldiers. They are cleaning up bomb shelters. They are helping women take care of children who are autistic and they don't get a break. These boys, that makes me so proud.
Others also described the chaos, saying they heard sirens and rocket blasts. One woman says that she had to hide in a bomb shelter at an airport. A second plane load of Americans fleeing from Israel arrived in Tampa this morning. The state of Florida has partnered with a nonprofit group, Project Dynamo, to get evacuees out. There are plans for more flights to return to Tampa this week. Israel says it will allow a limited amount of humanitarian aid to Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. CBS News Miami's Tina Kraus reports from Tel Aviv.
President Biden left Israel after paying a wartime visit to the U.S. ally as it fights Hamas in the wake of the Palestinian terror group's brutal attacks.
You can't look at what has happened here to your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, sons, daughters, children, even babies, and not scream out for justice. Justice must be done.
The president's trip was complicated by a massive explosion Tuesday at a Gaza hospital. Hamas blames an Israeli airstrike, but Israel strongly denies it, releasing videos and other information it claims shows it wasn't behind the deadly blast.
Based on the information we've seen to date, it appears the result of an errant rocket fired by a terrorist group in Gaza.
The hospital blast has further escalated tensions in the region. In Beirut, Lebanese security forces used tear gas and a water cannon on protesters near the U.S. Embassy.
America is the devil, the real devil, because he supported Israel.
During his remarks, President Biden said he would ask Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense. He also announced $100 million in new U.S. funding for humanitarian assistance in both Gaza and the West Bank.
The vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas. Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people.
Family members of Israelis kidnapped by Hamas made a plea to President Biden to help get their loved ones back.
My 3 grandchildren and my daughter-in-law are in Gaza. I want them back now.
The president said he has no higher priority than the hostages' safe return. Tina Kraus, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Florida Senator Rick Scott will join us live tomorrow morning right here on CBS News Miami Morning Edition. It is to discuss the escalating crisis in the Middle East. And stay with CBS News Miami on air and online for continuing coverage of Israel at war. We will bring you any new developments as they happen. Stay with us. More news when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The House continues to struggle to elect a new Speaker of the House. The battle comes as the country faces the next government shutdown. CBS News Miami's Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
The House held another round of voting to elect a new Speaker, and Jim Jordan lost some support among House Republicans.
Buchanan. Donalds.
Jim Jordan says he has no plans to drop out of the race, and he's looking to win over the Republicans who currently do not support him.
I already proven I can get from the most conservative members of the conference to the more moderate members of the conference. So got a whole cross-section of the conference. It's important that we get the last few.
Jordan can only afford to lose 4 votes and still reach the 217 needed to win. And this process has exposed some deep rifts within the Republican conference.
I think we're a mess.
There's now a growing chorus of people, including former House Speakers Newt Gingrich and John Boehner, calling for Speaker pro tempore Patrick McHenry to be made temporary Speaker and push this contentious vote to a later date.
Ohio Congressman David Joyce plans to file a motion to do that, saying by empowering Patrick McHenry as Speaker pro tempore, we can take care of our ally Israel until a new Speaker is elected. But doing so would require making a deal with Democrats, which is a no-go for some.
I think we should get a Republican Speaker. I've been very clear about that. I think that's where the conference is. That's what our rules suggest. So let's get a Republican Speaker and get about the people's business.
Jordan says they'll vote until they have a Speaker. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Lada. Fashion takes center stage to empower young girls in our community. It's all part of Girls Inc. of Miami's Fashion Fusion Brunch. Here's a look inside this special event.
These young fashionistas are proudly displaying designs they created. As they make their way down the runway in front of a packed and supportive crowd, they are beaming with pride.
The designers are here today, and our girls, of course, will be modeling for you today those designs that they made all by themselves with the help and guidance of these incredible volunteer design mentors.
As Girls Inc. of Miami's Virginia Akar shared with the crowd, the nonprofit organization is focused on creating and providing research-based programs for young girls that empower them to be the next generation of community leaders.
So when we decided to bring Girls Inc. to Miami, we knew that it wasn't just going to be a cut and paste what everybody else is doing. This city's a little different. Its pulse is a little quicker, its heart rate is a little faster, and things just move really quickly. And unfortunately, when that happens, it's easy for a lot of people to get left out. People who don't necessarily have access to resources.
As part of this program, 12 Girls Inc. fashionistas were selected through a competitive process to take part in a 9-week fashion fusion summer workshop led by top Miami fashion designers. They help the young aspiring designers create unique recycled fashions that they are modeling at this fashion fusion brunch. I had the honor to MC the event. One young designer told me this cool shirt she created was actually once a pair of pants. Global speaker, author, and specialist in the realm of toxin-free fashion, Taryn Hipwell encouraged everyone to be mindful about making fashion choices that don't hurt the environment.
And I love going through their closets and helping them also to reduce the toxins in their clothes.
The pop-up stores featured local designers, and the Fashion Fusion Brunch coincided with International Day of the Girl to honor the strength, intelligence, and potential of girls everywhere and continue to work towards a future where every girl is able to reach her fullest potential.
Girls Inc. of Miami provides free after-school programs for hundreds of girls in our community. Thank you for joining us.